Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I've decided to make a video focusing on my workout routine due to the high amount of requests I've received from my Instagram followers. By the way, if you're not already following me on Instagram, this is my Instagram handle. I sometimes post gym and progress updates on my Instagram stories, but most of my in-depth progress is found on my Patreon. If you're interested in joining that, the link is in the description box below. Before I get into these exercises, I just want to put out a disclaimer that I am not a fitness expert or by any means certified to give fitness advice. I am simply sharing my routine that has worked personally for me, and I'm not necessarily telling every single one of you to do all of these exercises. I also want to point out that if you do choose to do these exercises, it does not necessarily mean that you will achieve the same results. There are a ton of factors that play into achieving the body that you want, and genetics play a huge part of that, as well as diet. For example, in my case, I don't do any upper body exercises, but I seem to get constant compliments on my shoulders and lats. People assume that I regularly do upper body exercises, but in reality, I just don't. On the other hand, I unfortunately was not blessed with a dump truck like some girls. That being said, my main goal is to grow my glutes. My second goal is to get noticeable abs. However, this is mostly achieved through diet, which I will further get into in this video. So just to give some context before I start, I've been doing 2 different workouts throughout the past 2 years that focus on my lower body, mainly the glutes and hamstrings, and then 1 exercise that focuses on abs. I also do these workouts 3 times a week. So now let's finally get into the first workout. So for my first workout, I do a total of 4 exercises. I start off with paused hip thrusts, then cable glute leg swings, which I had recently swapped in. Then I do some arm supported leg raises, and then I end off with the hip abduction machine. So this is me doing paused hip thrusts. This is definitely my strongest exercise in terms of technique. And this particular exercise targets the gluteus maximus as well as other leg muscles. I've actually only started adding pauses about a year into doing this exercise, and pausing at the top and at the bottom really helps me maintain better technique and tension in the muscle. So in this video, I'm doing 4 sets of 295 pounds for 10 reps, and I work mostly in the 8 to 12 rep range for my compound movements. So I usually try to start with big compound movements because they require the most focus and they're definitely way more tiring. And then I finish my workout with lighter movements or isolated movements. So for cable glute leg swings, which is the next exercise, I actually swapped that in very recently to replace lunges because I wanted to focus more on glutes and hamstrings. As you can see, I am still working on this technique. It's all about starting with less weight and improving on the technique as you go. That way you are working the muscles that you actually want to work. And just like the previous exercise, I am pausing because that way I'm able to focus more on the tension in my muscles. And the next exercise is the only exercise that I do that focuses on my abs, and it's the arm supported leg raise. Because this is a much smaller movement, unlike hip thrusts, I tend to let the reps creep up to 16. I currently do it with 5-pound weights, but I am about to actually increase the weight very soon. I do this exercise 1 to 2 times a week because I want visible abs and I also want to strengthen my core. It's important to keep in mind that abs are mainly a result of low body fat. So your diet plays a huge role in how visible your abs are. I am actually cutting right now so I can get in peak shape for summer. If any of you are interested in learning more about my diet and what I eat in a day, let me know in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to create a video on that. And finally, the last exercise of this workout is the hip abduction machine, and this targets the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus. In this video, I am doing 220 pounds and I typically do about 12 reps. As you can see, I am purposely leaning forward because I feel a better stretch when I do it this way. You guys obviously don't need to do it this way. This is just how I do it. Now finally down to the second and final workout, and this one also consists of 4 exercises. So in terms of order, I start off with paused glute bridges and then RDLs, and then I use the lying leg curl machine and then finish off with the 45-degree hip extensions. I do paused glute bridges for the exact same reason why I do paused hip thrusts, but I like to have some variety just so I'm not doing the same kind of hip thrust variation all the time. And in this video, I am doing 4 sets of 305 pounds. And yes, it is difficult, but I try to get it done. And just like hip thrusts, I work in the 8 to 12 rep range because this is also a compound movement. And the next exercise is RDLs, which I'm doing to target hamstrings and glutes. And in this video, I'm doing 3 sets of 135 pounds for 8 to 9 reps. When I first started, I actually struggled the most with the technique. I was actually rounding my back a lot while I was doing this movement, and I ended up getting really bad lower back pain. So I spent months trying to improve on my form and technique. To further target my hamstrings, I also used the leg curl machine. And in this video, I am just doing 2 sets of 55 pounds. And finally, the very last exercise of this workout is the 45-degree hip extensions. And I like to put a 25-pound weight over my head just to make the exercise a little harder. So as you can see, I'm trying to do this movement in a way that targets my glutes and hamstrings. And I typically do 3 sets. To conclude this video, I want to point out that I focus on slow and steady progression. I try and improve on something every time I step foot in the gym. Sometimes it's more reps or more sets. Other times it's just simply maintaining my reps and sets while I continue to improve on my technique. And sometimes I'll add a little more to my pauses. So I hope you found this video helpful. I am actually in the process of switching from a 2 workout rotation to a 3 workout rotation. So if you are interested in seeing an update within the next 6 months or so, feel free to comment below and I will definitely share. Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, take care.